You are listening to the Overcome Pornography for Good podcast, episode 236.
Welcome to the Overcome Pornography for Good podcast, where we take a research-based, trauma-informed, and results-focused approach to quitting porn. This approach has been revolutionary and changed thousands and thousands of lives. I'm your host, Sarah Brewer.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast today. I'm Kat Jenkins. I'm a coach here in the program, Overcome Pornography for Good, and I'm really excited to be chatting with you guys today about a really fun, unique way that you can start to think about some grounding techniques. What we're going to talk about today is called Jin Shin Jyutsu. We're going to do the finger holds of this, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why you might want to try this, and then we're going to be doing a little practice of it. We'll do some practice together. So if you are apt to listening to the podcast while you're driving, this one might not be one to do while you're driving. You can certainly listen to the audio version of it, but I hope that you go home and you try this, and you need both hands for this, so you can't really do this while you're driving. So just make sure that you don't try to do this while driving either. And the other fun thing is, because this is hands-on, you can go watch the visual, head over to our YouTube video at Center for Overcoming and check it out there. So there'll be a link in the description if you decide you want to go actually watch the visual. You don't need to. I will talk through all of it so that I'm sure you can get everything you need just from the audio. But if you are a visual person and you want to go see it, you can certainly do that on our YouTube channel at Center for Overcoming. So just wanted to let you know of that. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit about why you would want to use this, why you'd want to do this, right? Again, this is called Jin Shin Jyutsu, and the reason you want to do this is it is a beautiful way to reduce stress. Just like we talk about in a lot of the program, we want to find grounding techniques, right, that are going to really help us. And this is a really beautiful grounding technique, and it's very specific. We're going to talk about that. Each finger on our hand is going to represent a different sort of emotion, and so this will make more sense as we go, but it can help calm our nervous system. Just like any of the grounding techniques that we do, it's going to help our nervous system. It's going to help us to get calm, right? And by working with the finger holds, you can address those specific emotional patterns. I'm going to go through what each one is on your hand, so be patient with me here. It also encourages a deeper connection with your body and its energy flow, because our emotions are energy. We talk about that, right? And so using touch, because we're going to hold each finger as we go through the practice, it helps us connect with our body. I know sometimes we're out of touch with our feelings and our emotions, and the body and emotion, they play such a pivotal role with each other. And so this is a really good way to connect those two things together as we do this. And so Jin Shin Jyutsu can also help to harmonize and release our thought patterns, because sometimes we get in our head. We're talking a little bit about being in our body, right? And with our emotions, but sometimes we get all stuck in our head. You probably noticed some of this. We do that a lot. It will help to release some of those thought patterns that we get stuck in. And again, helps our nervous system, gets into that parasympathetic, right? Which is responsible for relaxation. So getting us out of some of those things. So let's talk about what each finger represents. I'm going to go over a basic, and then I'm going to do a little bit more in depth for those who want to kind of hear a little bit more about what each finger hold does. And then we're going to do the practice together. We're going to try it as a group, as a team here together. Okay. So starting with your hand. So your thumb represents worry. Okay. So these are kind of this basic, quick overview. The index finger, it's going to harmonize fear. Okay. So worry, fear. Our middle finger is anger. The ring finger is sadness, and the little finger represents pretense, pushing, trying too hard, kind of when we strain and we push, we want to be someplace. That's kind of what that little finger does. Okay, so this is just kind of a basic overview. Thumb, worry. Index finger, fear. Middle finger, anger. Ring finger, sadness. And then our pinky finger is sort of a pretense or trying too hard. So sometimes people use it as like a self-esteem kind of thing too. So now I just want to go a little bit more in depth what each one of these fingers represents, because as you do the finger holds, as we do the practice together after we talk about this will help you to maybe see where you want to go, which finger you want to go to, and really to be in tune with your body. Okay. So not only does the thumb do worry, but this could also relate to depression, hate, obsessiveness, anxiety. Okay. It connects to our stomach, spleen functions. So it helps sort of with the interior of our body. It helps us to digest nutrients. It strengthens our core. It strengthens self-confidence, fosters love and compassion with others. So not only worry, which is kind of the basic thing, but there's some other parts of that too. So kind of when you're thinking about which finger you want to hold, there might be a more specific reason to go to one finger. The index finger is fear, remember? Okay. So fear, but also uncertainty, shyness, perfectionism connects to our kidney and our bladder function energy and strengthens our will to live. Okay. Research shows the immune system is more activated in people who are cheerful, happy, and free from fear. So if we can use this finger hold to let go of fear, right? Our immune system can get a boost if we are a more cheerful, happy people. Okay. It's also thought that fear is kind of the cause of all emotions. So this kind of index finger, this pointer finger really can play a pivotal role. Okay. The middle finger. So our middle finger here, anger, temper, frustration, aggression. When things don't go our way, it connects to our liver and gallbladder energy function. Okay. Helps to translate the bottled up creative energy into creative actions. And so this middle finger can kind of harmonize our creativity as well. Okay. So that's kind of our middle finger, not only anger, but some of that other stuff. The ring finger, sadness, is also kind of a letting go, crying, grieving, disappointment, feelings of guilt. This is all sort of these negative thoughts kind of are in this ring finger. We can help through this Jin Jyutsu to kind of energize that. Okay. Also, the ring finger boosts our common sense, optimism that things are going to get better again. Okay. So using the finger hold on our ring finger can help boost optimism. Our little finger, remember that was our pretense. And this can help harmonize when we're trying too much, when we're straining, when we're maybe laughing on the outside, but crying on the inside, right? When we're trying to pretend that we're somebody else and that everything's okay. That's kind of the little finger. Connects us to our heart and our small intestine function energy. Living from the heart and faithful to our own truth. That's also this pinky finger, this little finger, brings lightness, serenity, and life becomes simple. Okay. So this is like a way that we can energize our life sort of from the inside out. We can do some healing. Oh, one more. Before I forget, we can also use our palms, okay, the palm of our hand to help energize and harmonize kind of our whole being on all levels, okay? So we can also use, like I said, the palm of our hand. So there's a couple different ways that we can do the palm of our hand, and we'll kind of practice this. So it's going to restore equilibrium. It brings chaos into order. So we do this naturally sometimes with our hands, right? To help calm ourselves. Sometimes we'll put our hands together. We'll rub our hands. Sometimes we notice that we might do this without unintentionally. So there, again, a couple of ways we can do this. So we can rest the fingers of one hand in the palm of our other hand. So maybe we kind of put our right hand in a fist and we rest it on the palm of our left hand and cover that, right? So kind of holding like that. So all of our fingers are kind of holding in the palm. Or you can do the opposite. If it feels more comfortable, you can kind of put your left hand into a fist and rest all your fingers on the palm of your right hand. That's one way you can do it, either of those. Or prayer hands, right? Like maybe we interlace our fingers and we touch our palms together. That would be another way that you could do the palm hold to harmonize your whole body. So that's another beautiful thing that we're going to try here, and we're going to practice this together. Okay. So now that we kind of know what each of those are for, you can really go to them and use them whenever you're in any of these. Remember, thumb is worry. Fear, our index finger, anger, our middle finger, ring finger is sadness, and our little finger is sort of this pretense or trying too hard. Okay, so now we're going to practice this together. So we're going to start with the thumb. Again, remember this is worry. So sometimes it helps us to remember how we're trying to harmonize. But what we're going to do, again, you can use either hand. You take the finger we're doing, right now it's the thumb, and then you take all your hand and you just put it around all of your fingers around that one finger. We do not have to squeeze hard. We do not have to put pressure on it. It's light and it's airy. Okay. And all we're doing is we're just breathing into this as we do it. Okay. So we're going to hold our thumb. Again, this is our worry. And we're going to hold until we feel a pulse. As we hold, we're breathing. Okay. So hold your thumb. We're going to exhale, drop our shoulders, make sure that we are calm. I'm going to keep my hands up. So my shoulders in the video are going to look a little high. Don't worry. And then we're going to inhale as we do that. And we're not squeezing. If you find yourself starting to squeeze, maybe the worries kind of setting in, it's okay. Just breathing through that. And what we're doing is we're looking for a pulse. So you can start to feel. So maybe you're squeezing too hard. So just notice if you feel like you're squeezing too hard. You're going to exhale. You're going to breathe in. And when you start to feel that pulse, we can start to feel the energy moving. That's what we're looking for. If you don't feel a pulse, totally fine. You've done nothing wrong. It's okay. We're just going to hold for 2 minutes. We're not doing that on the podcast. But if at home you're doing this and you don't feel the pulse radiating through your finger, then you just hold for 2 minutes until you feel complete. Okay? So that's our thumb, our worry. Now we're going to take our index finger. So we're going to take your index finger and you're just going to wrap all the fingers of your other hand around your index finger. And again, we're not holding too tightly. We're not holding too loosely. We're just holding really nice and light. We're just going to breathe in and breathe out. I like to breathe in through my nose, exhale through my nose, and you start to feel the pulse. Sometimes I like to close my eyes. So if you're watching the video, you'll notice I'm close my eyes. Sometimes closing our eyes helps us to see further than just what's in front of us. And hopefully we can focus in on what we're feeling, the energy in our finger. You can start to feel the pulse happening as you breathe in and you breathe out. One other way that you can think of this, again, this pointer finger, fear. You might breathe in, feel like we're breathing out fear, kind of letting that go. Okay? You can start to feel the pulsing. You feel that? Okay, now we're going to move on to our middle finger. This is the anger. This helps us to harmonize anger. This middle finger, it's kind of where, like we were saying, this is where all of some people believe that all of those emotions reside in anger. So if you're feeling something and you don't know what it is, maybe come to your middle finger, okay? And do sort of this practice here. Okay, we're going to take your middle finger of one hand, take the other hand, and just wrap all your fingers around that one finger. And we're trying to harmonize our anger. And we just breathe in and breathe out. We might breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. Or we might breathe in through our nose, kind of let it out through our mouth. You might think in, fresh and clean, let anger go with the exhale. And we're just feeling the pulsing, noticing when our finger starts to pulse and the energy starts to move through us. Or we get to 2 minutes. Either of those things are a beautiful way to do this. That's our anger. Notice how you feel after you've started with the thumb, worry. Notice the index finger, fear. Now we've gone to the middle finger and we've kind of released some anger. Notice how you're feeling now. Notice what the difference is. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the ring finger. This is grief. Okay. This is one where we might use when we're feeling some grief. Jessica just did a really beautiful podcast about grief. So if you're feeling that, this might be a really beautiful hold that you can do. Okay. So we're going to taking our ring finger on one hand, and we're going to wrap all the fingers of our other hand around that one finger. We're going to be fairly loose. We don't have to be tight. We're just looking for and feeling a pulse to run through. We're just noticing when it starts to pulse. Okay. And as we're noticing that, we're just breathing in and breathing out. We're noticing the grief maybe. As we breathe in, we're giving it space and room and just letting it go. Letting all of that harmonize as we feel pulsating sensation run through our finger. Okay, you feel that? Again, if not, it's okay. Just hold that finger for 2 minutes. Okay, so that's grief. The last one, our little finger. Remember, this is about pretense. This is about pretending. This is about pushing really hard. Okay, so this is a really beautiful place to go to start to heal that part of us. part of us that's pushing really hard. Okay. So maybe we're pretending or we're overdoing. Again, doesn't matter which hand we use. We're going to take our pinky finger, our little finger on one hand, and we're going to put all the fingers of our other hand around that finger. Just all of them are holding on to that one finger and just noticing how it feels, looking for a pulse, breathing in, breathing out our pretense. Breathing in, letting go of the way that we've been holding on to pretending, holding on to overdoing, holding on to pushing too hard. Just letting that go. We can start reducing the stress of that, reducing the feelings, and we start to heal ourselves as we do this. Then we notice. If we want to, we can move on to our palms. Let's do that. I like to start with kind of just rubbing my palms together before we start, but you can do it however you want. And then I'm going to do prayer hands. But again, you can put all of your fingers in a fist and lay them on top of the palm of the other hand and kind of encompass that hand in your other hand. Okay. So you can do it like this or like this. One hand in left hand, your left fingers inside of your right hand or your right hand inside of your left palm. Either way works. I'm going to do prayer hands. All my fingers kind of pray together and then my palms are touching each other. Okay. And so we're just going to sit here, and this is a beautiful healing for the whole body. We can just notice when there's movement, when we can feel energy as it kind of moves through us. And again, we do that and we just hold the breath as we do that. We don't have to hold our breath, but we just breathe in and stay in the breath. Breathe in and breathe out. And notice what we're feeling in our palms. Again, I like to close my eyes sometimes when I do this so that I can see farther and not get so stuck. And just let ourselves be there with our palms together, feeling for a pulse, feeling for that sensation, noticing the energy and the movement that goes on as we do that, okay? And again, you don't have to do all of these every single time. Maybe you're noticing a lot of anger, so you just do the middle finger. Great, beautiful practice. Maybe you're noticing, like we said, we talked about grief, right? Maybe we go to that ring finger, let ourselves hold that. Worry, thumb, okay? So just know that you can come back to this anytime for a really beautiful practice. Once you've kind of learned it, you don't have to come back here. You can just do this, right, on your own. Sit and breathe however feels good to you. Again, one way that you can do it, if you're like, I feel kind of weird, is just exhaling everything out, making sure you drop your shoulders, smile, and then naturally inhale as you hold each finger. That's a really beautiful way to kind of let yourself sit into that. Okay, so that's the Jin Shin Jyutsu. That's how you do it. There's tons of videos out there if you want to watch somebody else teaching it. There's tons of different information, but this is just a really great way to connect to yourself, to connect to your body, to connect to what you're feeling. I guess it's to increase our self-awareness, right? We talk a lot about that. This helps to create that deeper connection with our body and with the flow of energy that's going on. We have a lot of power about how that energy flows. And this is just one way that we can sort of be hands-on with it. Isn't that funny? We can be really hands-on through the Jin Shin Jyutsu. Okay. And that's our podcast today. Thank you so much for joining. Let us know if you have any questions. We'd love to help you. And I will talk to you guys next time.
I want to invite you to come and listen to my free class, How to Overcome Pornography for Good Without Using Willpower. We talk about how to stop giving into urges without pure willpower or relying on phone filters so that you can actually stop wanting pornography. We talk about how to stop giving up after a few weeks or months. And spoiler alert, the answer isn't have more willpower. And then lastly, we talk about how to make a life without porn easily sustainable and permanent. If you're trying to quit porn, this class is a game changer. So you can go and sign up at sarahbrewer.com/masterclass, and it is totally free.